Greetings, fellow literature lovers. It's been a while since I've written a masterpiece, and I thought I'd take some of this time to answer some of your comments. But first, I'd like to explain a little about writing. My aim is to tell stories that are different from your typical story. That's not to make you feel bad or have you a bad day. That's to make you laugh and feel better about life. I've talked to writers for years, and they tell me that for everyone who comes to me because of the fact that she or he is writing a story, that's four who are going to be disappointed or unhappy. So, how do you go about creating a good story? As I explained in my essay, you first have to make a decision. What kind of story do you want to tell? If you think that you're not interested in an original story, you might end up wasting valuable days thinking about some other story to tell. But if you've decided that you're going to write a story, whether it has a beginning, middle, or end, you have to decide on the direction it will go. And you need more than just a plot. The plot is not the beginning or the end, but a way to make your story something other, maybe more beautiful. And now to your comments. Rareri 284 said, "The Iron Throne was the true king all along." Thank you for your comment. The Iron Throne was the true king all along. Thank you for the insight. Greetings. Your name is Chromia. Thank you for your insight. I have done a great deal of research, and it seems that there is a legend regarding the Iron Throne. Darth Vader said, "I'm old, not ancient. Respect your elders." Thank you for your comment. Your statement is very interesting to review, and I will do so. However, your argument is also flawed. You're arguing something that you yourself are unable to clearly understand, or that you do not quite understand. I agree that our galaxy is not like most other areas. Most people live in a different galaxy with very different values. One must be in a society to understand the value of what one is saying, and in the Star Wars universe, we have been in a society for over 300 years. That is a very long time. You also claim that the Jedi are not true Jedi, that you believe the original Jedi are just shadows of themselves and have no connection to anything. No. The Jedi are only what they truly teach themselves to be, and the only Jedi worth being is a Jedi who truly served the one who sent him on this journey, which is the Emperor. There is no room within the organization for a mere student. Arandir said, "Still better than the Last Jedi." Arandir said, "Still better than the Last Jedi." Thank you for your comment. I look forward to learning about you and your work on Rogue One and the other Star Wars films. Your support has been greatly appreciated. Gaming Postman said, "This channel is very different from my own channel, but it's nice." Thank you for your comment. Although I haven't done a full study since I started in 2011, I'm sure I was watching an unusual number of content creators in the previous year. From my observations, YouTube seems to work pretty well for some, but not for very many of creators. There are a number of important factors that influence the quality of content available to YouTube creators. First of all, the content itself doesn't always need to be very high quality. I don't know of any channels that can sustain 3 million views per video, and of course some videos will have the ability to reach millions of views, like Game FAQ's famous Super Nintendo channel. However, most video creators don't have the resources to do that, and this is something that YouTube has made easy for them. When people say that the internet is filled with garbage, what they're really speaking of is YouTube. Most of the garbage that appears on the internet comes from YouTube. Favorite Mustard says, "I wonder if they took Judith's lasagna too." Thank you for your comment. I actually made an exception for the lasagna and enjoyed it, which was what was planned, and when I was cooking with this batch of soup, it was the most creamy soup I've ever had. I will be making this dish again. Thanks again for the suggestion. I can see how easy to mix up the roux. I also made the sauce, this time using vegetable peelback mince. I think it's more flavorful after grating the peel. I added some fresh parsley for better taste. I didn't feel the need to use onion in this lasagna because I think in Italy there's something about onion curry which is more pleasant than onion and no more flavorless than spinach curry. I think I could use some green beans, though at first I couldn't get green beans. I also tried the other recipe of meat sauce. SusZX says the Stanley Parable but with no meta commentary, and it had 420 with Goage Lucas. Thank you for your comment. The Stanley Parable but with no meta commentary, and it had 420 with Goage Lucas. The Stanley Parable but with no meta commentary, and it had 420 with Goage Lucas. The Stanley Parable but with no meta commentary, and it had 420 with Goage Lucas. Yes, I believe that was a play on the movie When an Alcoholic Man Takes a Vacation with his wife, played by Lauralee, and the Stanley Parable was a parable of the way we all live our lives. The people who read the meta-commentary are those who didn't pick that one up, you know, the ones who thought you had read the parable without reading the film. If you want a better commentary on the Stanley Parable, you can look elsewhere at your peril. And it says much better than anything Disney's writers have done so far. Thank you for your comment. And the way you put it is that you feel like I'm a little naive? Thanks, John. And our last comment is from S.K. Wills, saying if he left the Force would kill him. He couldn't let that happen again. Well, he can certainly understand why. Thank you for your comment. A new version has been released with some changes. The biggest change was to the AI that now decides what actions they will perform if an enemy goes missing. I did this because the default AI is very passive, not having a hard time attacking even if they have no food. So I wanted to make the AI more active. I can no longer disable and enable each attack, and each turn you have to select which attack will go down. This also has the effect of increasing attack damage by a bit, since the AI will get better at picking the right attacks for the attack they get. If it thinks the enemy will attack a random point and a few squares away, it is very likely that it is going to attack there. So an AI is still much better at picking out when and where the enemy will attack. I was thinking, if this isn't fixed by next update 2.6, it is probably a bug. I must go now. Thank you for all your comments. I am sorry for some of the answers. We will address them in the future. Thank you. Thank you all again. To answer your question, I am very pleased to say that we finally made it in Brazil without any cost.